This is the AMA Sport Kronos Paddle. AMA is a paddle brand that's more active selling on Amazon, so they aren't too big of a brand name, though they do have an interesting selection on the Amazon website. The paddle right here, the Kronos, does look like a regular Gen 2 thermoform hybrid paddle, but I did want to take a look at it because it's one of the few paddles that opts to use a 3K carbon fiber surface instead of T700, so I thought it would be interesting to do a comparison. The Kronos has paddle dimensions similar to most of the other hybrid paddles, 16.33 inches in length, a 16mm core, and it doesn't have a taper at the top two corners like the 6.0 paddles, so the width is just 7.5 inches. The handle also leans a bit towards the longer side and is 5.71 inches. The swing weight of mine is about average for a hybrid paddle at 114, and the twist weight is 6.15. The paddle honestly plays very similar to all the other hybrid paddles except for one part, and that's the face stiffness. 3K carbon fiber is lower in tensile strength than T700, so the Kronos does have a softer feel off the face than the other T700 paddles. It's not as stiff and poppy, and I think its feel is more similar to something like the Pickleball Ape's Proline Energy S, but not quite as soft. In fact, the texture on the surface itself is reminiscent of the textured pattern you see on the Ape's paddle too. The power was also on the lower side. I think it may be one of the softest Gen 2 hybrids I've used. I would put the power down there with the Vatic Pro Flash and the R1 Pulsar. Meanwhile, things like the sweet spot and stability were all similar to other hybrid paddles with the same shape. Now there are two more things to talk about for the 3K surface, and that's the spin generation and durability. While the surface is 3K, it is a raw carbon fiber surface, so there is a grit texture left by the resin imprint from peel ply, similar to what you see on other T700 carbon fiber paddles. So basically, the application of the grit is the same, but what surface the grit is applied onto is what separates the Kronos from other raw carbon fiber paddles. Now I hit this side by side with the bread and butter Loco, and in my honest opinion, side by side, I could not feel a difference in the spin. Now I could be wrong and there may be actual differences in the RPM numbers, but to my own feel when hitting them side by side, I couldn't find a difference. Now in terms of durability, this may be a different story. John Q did a video on the carbon fiber grades in the past and did say that brands that use well-known brand names of carbon fiber like Toray or Mitsubishi did seem to have longer lasting surfaces compared to companies that use inferior brands of carbon fiber. The Kronos doesn't specify the brand of 3K carbon fiber used, but many of the other hybrid paddles on the market do specify using Toray, so for those we do know they will have good quality, and that's something which is an unknown on the Kronos. One more thing that's unknown to me is how durable 3K even is compared to T700, and that is something that may take quite a bit more testing. But basically, the Kronos is just a softer feeling hybrid thermoform paddle that gives players a plush feel similar to Kevlar at the cost of having less pop at the net. It's very similar in feel to the Proline Energy S paddle, but not quite as plush and noticeably less powerful since it does come with a lower swing weight and isn't as long. It's definitely a paddle I would be interested in doing a follow-up video on for durability and spin once I have more tools set up. The Kronos retails for $149 on Amazon, but frequently goes on sale with various Amazon discounts. At the time of this recording, it's actually on a flash deal for $89, and I've seen the price drop down to $130 on occasion. They have provided me with a discount code, however, that will expire on February 25th, though that will give you a discount off your order if you do want to pick one up on Amazon.